I want to thank one of my new subscribers, Loretta from Read Write Collage, for sending me a message about my first video on my 70th birthday. So mistakenly, I went back and looked at it. All right, it wasn't that bad. I was trying to be myself in a little bit of a stage-like way. But why did I talk so slow? Oh, it's a book haul. Hi Booktube, it's Marilyn Maya, the baby boomer booktuber, and today I have a haul for you. You know, in my teaser, I was talking about how we grow as booktubers and we become better, hopefully. Yeah, I was talking very slow in my first couple of videos. I don't know why that is, but I'm gonna attach some of those videos. They seem to be getting a lot of views, so maybe there was a little funny, I hope. Anyway, I have a haul. It's not a tremendous haul, but for me, what I went through the last 2 months, it's big for me because I had sort of a eye procedure for a secondary cataract, so I couldn't see at all most of last month. I did read quite a few mysteries from March Mystery Madness, and I read some middle grade that I'm going to talk about in my wrap-up later on. And I'm also going on a trip, but I'll talk about that later. But let me first talk about the comfort books that I'm hauling. And the first one is a literal comfort book. It's called The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. And he read something about, he wrote a fiction book about a library that I didn't read, but it was very popular. But when I got this book out of the library, I really can't keep my hands off of it because it's just songs that comfort me, a playlist. Hello, I mean, this is just really what I look for in comfort books. And proverbs, and what it says is, nothing is stronger than a small hope that doesn't give up. And I just love that. So it's a collection, it says, of little parcels of hope. Gathering notes, proverbs, and stories, it gifts us with a new way of seeing ourselves, the world, and ourselves in the world. And I'm looking forward to reading this month. My next comfort book is a new series that I'm starting with Miss Reed. And if you know anything about Miss Reed, she could be called Miss Comfort. That was her name, Miss Reed. It wasn't her real name, but this series is Thrush Green, and Miss Reed's chronicle of small town life has achieved an almost legendary popularity worldwide by offering a welcome return to gentler time, along with wit, humor, and wisdom in equal measure. So this volume introduces Thrush Green, the neighboring village to Fairacre. Its blackthorn bushes, thatched roof cottages, enchanting landscape, and jumble sales. I love jumble sales. We don't call them jumble sales here. We used to call them white elephant sales. I don't even think they call them that anymore. But yeah, I'm in for that. Not lately, of course. So if you ever enjoyed a visit to Midford, you'll relish a visit to Thrush Green. So her stories really aren't about anything. I mean, they don't have a big hook, but it's just, and it says a turbulent, in the more turbulent world, what could be more turbulent than what we're experiencing right now? The more charming we might find the stability of Miss Reed's fictional world. I had to say that because I really need this right now. So Gina Stanyor, who is Miss Comfort Queen of BookTube, she didn't introduce me to Miss Reed. I was introduced by it was actually a booktuber who I don't know the name of, who was just showing all these books, just displaying them. And I said, who is this Miss Reed? And now I decided to buy myself an almost new copy, and it's in great condition. And look at the picture. I mean, ducks, a thatched cottage. I mean, it almost relaxes me just by listening, by reading this, by looking at the cover. My next book, I'm not going to talk about too much because it's going to be featured in another video that I'm doing about unappreciated authors or unappreciated books by famous authors, and that's Joy in the Morning by Betty Smith. Now, if you know anything about Betty Smith, all her books are autobiographical, or what they would call autofiction today. And she admitted that. There's a beautiful picture of her in the back. I don't like this cover because it doesn't gel with the my imagination of what these two couples looked like. But I'm going to talk about this later. I think it's one of her last books. She didn't write many books, but I remember loving this and I want to reread it. So I bought this, so it's my haul. The next haul is a mystery, which is always comforting to me. And this is a Miss Silver mystery. And I think I'm pretty sure that Lil's Vintage World introduced me to the Miss Silver books. And I thank you, Lil, because I really love Patricia Wentworth. She's more of a mystery, romance, suspense author. So expect that if you want to read Miss Silver. So Maud Silver gives you your money's worth of deducing in this well-knit puzzle of love and double murder. And this says, it's not a very wonderful blurb, but it says, serviceable silver item mixing homicide romance, acceptable spinster sleuthing, and dry British humor, quite enjoyably. Good. I don't think that's a wonderful review, but I think I liked what this was about. Detective Sergeant Frank Abbott is visiting his family in the village of Deeping when the young Mary Stokes reports that she has just witnessed a brutal murder. Though the police race to the scene, a wooded area known locally as the dead man's corpse, they can find no body. Since Mary's facts seem muddled, Frank asks Miss Silver for her help. And it goes on from there. They find somebody. And what I love is the relationship between Sergeant Frank Abbott and Miss Silver. I mean, they just understand each other so well. So, the Silver Eternity Ring plays a part in this. So I'm looking forward. It's a pretty hefty Miss Silver book. So I'm adding this to my collection. Now, almost to kind of an opposite way. This is
on this my 70th birthday, I'll recite one of my favorite poems.
Sorry about that. That was a little introduction to my first video. Didn't mean to do that. Really, I really didn't. Okay, so my next book is from the Women's Prize for Fiction. And it's The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak, who's a Turkish, award-winning British-Turkish novelist, and she writes both in Turkish and English. And she's the author of 10 minutes, 38 seconds in This Strange World. And I did a response video to the Women's Prize, and I'm not doing very well. So far, I read one book, and that'll be coming up. One book that I have to say that I admire very much, which was The Sentence. I say admire rather than enjoy, but it's a definite 4-star book. So I'm hoping that this book, which I pretty much think is about nature as well as a love story. So it says, a rich, magical new novel on belonging and identity. I love that. Love and trauma, nature and renewal. See, I knew it was nature. From the Booker's shortlisted author. And she was the shortlisted author of 10 minutes, 38 seconds in this strange world. So this has two timelines. Two teenagers, a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot, meet at a taverna on the island they both call home. In the taverna, hidden beneath garlands of garlic, chili peppers, and creeping honeysuckle, Costas and Daphne grow in their forbidden love for each other. A fig tree stretches through a cavity in the roof, and their tree bears witness to their hushed, happy meetings and eventually to their silent, surreptitious departures. The tree is there when war breaks out and the capital is reduced to rubble and ashes. That really brought, when we see what's happening in the Ukraine, the beautiful Ukraine. So when the teenagers vanish, decades later, Costas returns. He is a botanist looking for native species, but really he's looking for lost love. And years later, a Ficus carica, and I'm imagining that's a tree, grows in the back garden of a house in London where Ada Kazantakas lives. The tree is her only connection to an island she has never visited, her only connection to her family's troubled history. I think you get the idea. As I said before, it's a Reese Witherspoon book club book, which I didn't have much luck with the other one. That was also a Reese Witherspoon, or any ones that are Reese Witherspoon book clubs. I'm just happy that anyone makes a book club, so I'm not trying to diss her in any way. It's just that as of yet, I haven't found a book of hers in her book club that reaches me, that touches me. But who knows, this might be the one. If you've read it, let me know. Just want to say that another book that I'm trying to get a hold of from the women's long list is Careless by Karn. I'll have a notation up above. I was just writing her name down and I don't know why I forgot it, but Kristen. Anyway, it's a book that I really want to read, but I can't get it in Hawaii as of yet. I said that about another book, Magma, which I've been looking for a year, and now it's at the library. Okay, I digress. I wanted to listen to this for the Irish Readathon. It's Frank McCourt's Angela's Ashes. I did get a copy out of my library, and I reread. I read this a long time ago, and I remember that though it was sad, it made me laugh a lot. And a booktuber who I can't remember right now said that listening to it in his voice, he's passed away now, Frank McCourt, but is a joy. So I'm looking forward to that. Then I have something from my Kindle, and I this month I bought or was gifted a lot of different books on my Kindle, and this one I can't keep my eyes and hands away from. I don't know who suggested this. If you're the one, let me know. It's called Cold as Hell, and it's a mystery. It's from Iceland, from Lilja Sigurdardottir. And let me just tell you what it's first about. I've already read a few. I've been trying to save this for my airplane trip because I'm going on a trip the end of the month, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But it's about Icelandic sisters Aurora and Ísafold lived in different countries and are on speaking terms. But when their mother loses contact with Ísafold, Aurora, and I'm messing up these Icelandic names, she reluctantly returns to Iceland to find her sister, but she soon realizes that her sister isn't avoiding her. She has disappeared without trace. And it's very exciting. And I haven't read, I'll show you the cover. And it's a person looking out in the ice. It's a wonderful cover for a Kindle book. And what I liked about it is that well, I liked everything about it. It's translated by Quentin Bates, by the way. And it has a pronunciation guide. And I think that's really helpful. So when you're, so Aurora, which I said Aurora is Aurora. That's not so different. And Isofold, which I said Isofold, is Isafold. And Bjorn is Bjorn. And so far they're pretty similar, but there's some that, like Grimoire, Haukon Hoikson. Yeah. And I think it gives you an extra flavor to be able to pronounce the Icelandic names. So I think that was really smart of the author or the translator. So, and I like the way it's laid out in acknowledgments and everything. I just love this book, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention if you're a mystery thriller reader. I'm not that much into thrillers as I used to be, but this one sounds up my street, as they say. Then to end the haul, I have two magazines, one not mine. I talked about Writer's Digest, and I had subscribed to Writer's Digest for many years. The only problem was, beside the cost, which wasn't really that expensive, was that I found new books and new authors to shout out. And this one is not a new one. It's July-August 2021, but I haven't read it. And it's Writing for Change. So it's spotlighting social issues in crime fiction. That's one story on this. It's writing controversial stories, ethical strategies, and then we have a poet, Deborah Hall, winner of the Writer's Digest Poetry Awards. And this is Jasmine Guillory, the best-selling romance novelist, talks about the intertwined world of her books and writing her newest novel in the midst of the pandemic. It's When We Were Dating. I don't read much romance, but yeah, this cover, I can't wait to get my hands on it. And then I kind of borrowed, my daughter gets these free. It's Allure magazine. And this one says Global Beauty, South Asia's Curl Power, Faces of Afghanistan, and Deepika Padukone, Bollywood's Royalty and Beauty Entrepreneur. And her face grabbed me. So I grabbed the magazine. Yeah, and why not? No matter what age you want to look at beautiful people and makeup and what, you know, it's okay. Whatever you want to read is fine. So that's basically my haul. But I wanted to tell you that I'm going on a 3-week vacation, and I'm very excited. In fact, I'm going to Provence and Paris, and I'm going to read A Year in Provence before I go. It's going to be a reread for me. But yeah. I'm not sure if Sandy of Miss Reads a Lot or Gina Stanyor is the one who told me about, not told me, but reminded me that maybe I should read this book before I go. And so, yeah, my trip. My son works for an airline, and, you know, he gets free trips, and sometimes they give them confirmed seats. So I have a confirmed seat, free and confirmed. So how could I not go? And now that I can see, it's going to be just wonderful. I'm going with my daughter, my youngest daughter. I'm going to see my granddaughter, and I only saw her once, and she's 3. They live in the Twin Cities, so we're stopping there, and I'm excited. I'm nervous. I have some mobility issues, and that's a problem. But you know, if not now, when? That's a famous saying. And also, I've always been adventurous. I've always been a traveler. And now that I got a chance, I'm not going to give it up. So I'm going to try to film while I'm away with my daughter's help. Right now I have my partner Jackson's help. But, you know, every day I'm becoming a little more independent on how I process my videos. So like I said before, I'm going to have my first video down below, so you can check it out if you want. And also the people that I've mentioned and all the books will be down below. So subscribe if you like this kind of content. And yeah, we baby boomers, we have stuff to say, and we can learn stuff too. And I've been learning that I love comfort books. I knew that I liked the comfort book type of book by Haig, because these are the kind of books that got me through life in the 80s, the 70s, and I'm excited to read this. So anyway, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe. And until we meet the next time, here or wherever in the world that I happen to be, aloha.